But let's talk about Alexis Sanchez move, or rather a loan to Inter Milan. And this is a bit of a strange one because Manchester United are still paying quite a big percentage of his wages. And it's, to my understanding, no option to buy as well.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I think that Alexis come to a point where I think his confidence is... it's dropped to a point where I have to move to see if things go better for him. That deal show the point of getting an agreement whatsoever. You know, the terms he need to move. It's a pity because he's a great player. You know, he's got abundance of skills and passion, but he couldn't deliver for United. Last year was a struggle with even injuries and all that. So having a deal where Manchester United pretty much pay his salary, even if it's 25 still to pay percent, it's a bad deal. You still think that he could have maybe remained there and helped the side, yeah. But it's just mentally, I mean, it could be very exhausted for Alexis. That's why he wanted to move. Don't feel appreciated. Don't feel he was always constantly on the spot. So it was really hard for him.
The club is actually willing to pay for you to get out. It's quite a statement to make, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a statement, but for both of them, the situation is just not sustainable. You know, you find yourself in such a difficult because the club as well have to justify every time if he's not playing, he's on the stand. You know, you're still paying someone full price, and it's damaging where maybe he's got his value in Inter at some point, maybe getting higher because he's playing better, he's scoring goals. Maybe you can sell it again. I don't know. Things like this in 6 months can arrange both of the side. Right now, staying this way, it's a no-brainer, but in 6 months, may arrange everybody.
I think if you look at it, was Sanchez likely to play for Manchester United this season?
Well, Ole did say that Sanchez is part of his plans this season, so...
Yeah, well, I think managers say lots of things because they have to say that. Not that they necessarily mean it, OK? Because clearly, either, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't have the power that we think he should have, or he fabricated something there, didn't he?
A PR move.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't have a big squad up front, if Rashford is injured.
It does leave them a bit thin in terms of attacking options.
So that's why he may claim to say, oh yes, it's part of my plan, you never know what happened.
And as it happens, Martial is now injured, isn't he?
Yes, that's
I don't think long term by any stretch of the imagination, but if you have a player within your club who actually isn't particularly advantageous for you, in your opinion, and has he been an advantage for Manchester United in his time at the club? I don't think so.
His dip from Arsenal is dramatic.
So do you want to carry a passenger, or do you want to get the passenger, off your bus? And they've got the passenger off their bus.
Even if you have to pay for it as well to get off your bus.
Well, they've reduced their wages to some extent because at least, the Italian club is paying some of it.
They're still saving some money, because at the end of the day, they will have to keep him. And after, it's keeping an unhappy player because he can't be happy not performing. It's obviously, he's a top, he's a top quality player. It must hurt him inside that he moved from Arsenal to Man U and not been able to perform, He obviously wants to, but for some reason it just didn't work out for him and didn't happen. I'm sure all summer they've tried to sell him or get rid of him somehow. Nobody wanted him because obviously his last 18 months been terrible. Nobody could.
And at the same time, when you look at Man United as a fan and you see any striker, as a striker, I felt sorry for him. I really did, because where you find no connection between the midfielders and the strikers, those guys need to be kind of at top of their form to actually perform. It was so bad. There is transition, yes, excuses and all that. So not saying that there is excuses for him in a way, but Falcao would struggle as well. And Falcao, is a deadly striker. Just put the ball in the box and he couldn't find it. Whether he was maybe injured or something. So there is situation where sometimes the actual atmosphere or maybe the transition as a club was not ideal for a player who has lost a bit of confidence. There is no manager was able to actually give him the platform to actually maybe sometimes perform.
Is it a system problem? Because Pep actually said what happened to Alexis Sanchez isn't all about Alexis Sanchez. His
Yeah.
performance is not about him. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As a striker, I felt sometimes sorry because I could see sometimes, as we mentioned with Pogba, for example, there's a big debate about Pogba sometimes. It's like, I don't think that they have the players around Pogba to actually get off his back, that he's been asked to be a leader, doing this and all that. He's the only one who actually creates some stuff, like some special stuff sometimes, but he's only focus. And I think in some circumstances that sometimes the actual chemistry is not there for certain players, and Sanchez has struggled from that.
Do you think he'll come back to Manchester United after the end of the loan?
Only time will say. Only time will say. I do think that if he had maybe in his mind to do the best season possible, he have a chance to come back, whatever he stay. But I think it could be an option for sell then.
Yeah, whether he'll stay and then move elsewhere. Now,
I think now he's gone on this loan period, I'll be very surprised if he ever plays for Man United again. Yeah. That's my feeling.
Yeah, me too. I feel why they didn't maybe want to put a price is maybe because they don't know what season he's going to have.
Yeah.
And if he has a top season, he might be worth 60 million. So they're just you just don't know, and that's probably why Man U thought we just want to get rid of him, let him play, enjoy his football again, go back to what he was, and then let's see then.
Yeah, that's the plan. I think.
If you were in that scenario, Louis, I mean, with the way the club, or rather the fans sometimes have seen you, best case scenario for Alexis Sanchez, he does really well in Inter Milan. Would you still want to come back and play for a club that's left you in that state?
I think we can comment all day and all that. You don't know what has been said, parties-wise. You shit and you do this, and they respond, and there is no relationship anymore. It's completely broken. You have wasted that much of money. You have all the fans, whatever has been in his mind. It's only guys to respond is him, But as a player, I have so much pride, And if I sign a contract and I try to do my best, I will say, I want to prove you that I can play in this team and come back. And maybe the setup was not right for me, but that's me. If it's maybe in a different state of mind, and only time will tell us.
Now, ever since Cristiano Ronaldo, the number 7 shirt has been not very successful in Manchester United. I mean, we see Di Maria and now we see Sanchez as well. Is that shirt too heavy, you think, the number 7?
Yeah, but it's about taking responsibility. But I think when you know the history of that number, you take it for, a responsibility. You can't just think that your career gets you that shirt. It's now you have to prove it. And definitely those players who thought that lightly about it, I think get punished because you have to work really hard. George Best, Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, all those players are immense players for the club. You have to realize it's just not talent. You have to be committed, being a leader, being someone that inspires others. That's not only about performances, and I mean acting right in terms of the fans and all that. It's just immense responsibility. I've never been questioned about the number 7 for me. It was 8 and number 9. But I would have really considered not to take it if I was proposed something like this, because I don't feel like it's some light numbers. It really means something, like Cantonas.
Is it added pressure then to that number?
Of course. It's just not a price tag. It's something that you have to perform big time.
And let's be honest, it's not as if there's a shortage of numbers you can choose. You can avoid the number 7 shirt, can't you?
Well,
53,
apparently,
71,
Pick an obscure number. Apparently, Jesse Lingard, I don't know if you believe it, he has requested for the number 7 shirt.
Hang on a minute. What?
For what club?
No, I mean, no disrespect. I think Jesse is a player from the academy and he's been there for a long time. He understands this. But as I mentioned, it's not just something that you just claim, That is something that people give it to you for some reason, because you have now attached to your back something like represent the club. I mean, you represent the club, the history and all that, and you can't take that lightly. It's just not about you thinking that you have the potential. I think it's yeah, I don't think that he done it seriously, really.
No, I think I can see it from the smile from your face.